Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well. This will be the first clip I've recorded today, and I double checked that, so that is a for sure fact. But just got done working out. I'm actually going to talk about school real quick first. School went extremely well. I didn't have the same issues that I had before when I talked about with behavior. I was able to get that all squared away for the most part. I had a little bit, but it's obviously a work in progress. And overall, I mean, like 95% of my time was really, really good. And the other 5%, I mean, it wasn't anything I didn't expect in a typical day, and it was better than a regular day. So I'm hoping to obviously continue to have days like this, but I know inevitably other stuff will happen. You probably heard the air conditioning in the background turn off, so hopefully the audio sounds even better now. But this actual school day went amazing, and then I got paperwork done too, which is a huge bonus. So I'm going into Friday with a lot of really good momentum, which is awesome. But after school, I had training for paperwork. There's changes with how IEPs are structured online. It's just since we do everything on the computers, they changed how different things are formatted and how different things populate within the program. So we had to look at that and see what the changes were and how we had to word some things now. And nothing was really radical on like having to do things differently. It was just formatting and seeing some of that stuff. So that was informative, and it didn't take the 2 hours that it was scheduled to take, which is a huge positive. It took probably 45 minutes, so it's definitely a positive on that end, because once I'm done with school, I am mentally ready to do other stuff. I am not prepared to do anything, any sort of work, especially related to school stuff. I guess not work in general, because I'll go and do other stuff. But anywho, that was my school day. In essence, or in short, it was a very positive day, and hopefully tomorrow is another one. Oh, one other thing about school. I figured out my schedule entirely. I had to flip-flop one of my math groups to be in the morning, but it actually makes my schedule work better. Works better for the teachers where the students are, at least for the one student, and for the other two, they were cool with the change with it. So now my schedule is pretty much entirely fleshed out, and I actually really like how it's set up. So I have, I'll have a math group first thing. I'll have like a half hour, not really a break, where I'll go into different classrooms and see what they're learning and see how they're being taught. And then I'll have another math group, a reading group, my lunch duty, all of that stuff. I'll come back from lunch, have another math group, and then end with 2 reading groups, which flows really nicely into the rest of the day. So my afternoon's really packed. My morning is kind of laid back, but not so much. I pretty much have group stuff all day, other than that half-hour span in the morning, besides my playing time and lunch and stuff, obviously. But that half hour I'm trying to utilize to my benefit to see what they're doing in class, so I can teach them the same things, and also kind of cater my lessons to it. So I kind of plan my math, but particularly with math, because reading, they'll do a lot of the, a lot of stuff I work on, it goes directly to that. I mean, if a kid gets better at reading, they're probably gonna do better in the reading class. It leads pretty directly into that. But math, it could be very, like they're doing place value in one class, and in the older ages, they're doing long division with 2 numbers. So like being able to add to that and reinforce it is rather nice, and it's something I want to get better at this year, and so far I'm doing a pretty good job of that. But that's my school day in essence. Like I said, a very good day. So now on to the workout. I had a really good workout today, thankfully. My routine was changed. Like I said, I had the training thing after school for a little bit, so I had to wait until it was like 6 o'clock when I started. It's about 8 o'clock now. It took a little bit longer. I'll get to why, one of the reasons why it took a little bit longer, but the first reason why, and sorry, I'm trying to balance my phone against this door here so it's not shaking so much. The first reason I'm at home, so I take more of my time, but also was just doing difficult stuff. And I started out with a snatch complex where I did a snatch pull, a snatch, a hang snatch, and an overhead squat. And I was able to work up to 195 pounds with that, and I didn't have any misses, which was really awesome. I did 135, 165, 195, so relatively big jumps. But then I went up to 215 to do some snatch singles, and I missed the first 2, which were really frustrating. But then I hit like 3 in a row, and I tried to double one, and I missed the second attempt when I tried to double it. And like all my misses were just from shoulder fatigued, like the technique, and I was like moving pretty fast, surprisingly. And my technique on it, like all my snatches felt really good, which is part of the reason I kept trying it, is I wasn't feeling tired or beat up from them, and I was just like getting in the bottom. It was just like, wow, my shoulders are tired, and I was really feeling it. But I was able to, so I had the 2 misses, the 3 makes, the miss on the double, so I guess like a make and a miss on that. And then I had a make. Then I tried to go pee in the house and get a towel so I can wipe off sweat, and Justin accidentally locked the back door, so I had to go bang on the house. So once I had that, I had like another miss before I went to go to the bathroom. I came back and I actually got 215. And technically, it's a cluster because of how much time I took in between the reps, but like 2 reps of the same weight in a relatively close amount of time. I'm gonna get to the point where I'm doing like true doubles with these different weights, but obviously on today, and especially with snatches, I'm trying to obviously hammer home that technique as much as I can. So doing a cluster like that is already a step forward. But what I think I'll try to do when I max out on Saturday is try to max out my snatch double, and probably not clean and jerks. I mean, I'll probably either do 2 cleans or 2 jerks, but I probably won't do 2 cleans and 2 jerks, but you never know, I could do that. But definitely with snatches, I want to push that up because that will help my overall fitness and the strength of my shoulders to be able to do 2 reps in a short succession with that. And it's something I'm not very good at, doing reps on the snatch, so I want to get not to where the point where I'm doing triples and 4s and 5s and stuff like that, but you know, a heavy double will be really good for me to really challenge me, and it'll help me get better at other complexes, such as like a snatch plus hang snatch or some sort of other variation like that. But those are snatches. Managed to get back into the house and get a towel and stuff, and I moved on to clean and jerks, where I did a clean pull, a clean front squat, and a split jerk. So plus, 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 plus. Those went well. I went from 135 to 215 to 260, where that was my top set, and then I decided to do an extra set of a clean double. And it was kind of the same thing with the snatch double, although I took a little bit less time. But I was pretty happy with the cleans. I think the only thing I want to adjust is how long I sit in the bottom. That was one of the reasons my snatches were feeling really good, is because I put my back in a really good position to start before I started to pull. I got a little lazy with the cleans, although like my form I was still happy with. I just wanted to sit in the bottom just a smidge longer to make sure my back is as tight as it can be before it goes, because it actually makes the rest of my movement easier, and it makes everything move faster and more efficient. And like I said, that's why I think my snatches were feeling really good today, because I was doing the pull pretty darn well, so it was making everything else snappy. And I just had some, you know, general technique things on the first couple, but then it was like straight just shoulder fatigue. And if I had fresh shoulders, I think I would have, you know, made the first couple probably almost surely, because 215 is not that heavy for me. But I'm looking forward to doing the maxes this Saturday. So I'm hopefully we'll be able to do maybe 215, but in a quick succession instead of the more of a cluster double that I did today. And for clean jerks, you know, just whatever I can get with that. My focus right now is snatches, because my clean jerks have generally gone up pretty easily as I've gotten stronger in my legs, and then the clean jerks kind of go up. But maybe I'll try to do maybe I'll do something crazy like a double, you know, 2 cleans and 2 jerks or something like that, or maybe a clean and jerk plus clean and jerk. Although I kind of like doing, you know, clean clean jerk jerk, or a clean clean jerk, or jerk clean clean, or clean jerk jerk. I don't know, some sort of combination where I do a 1 plus 2 or a 2 plus 1 instead of doing, you know, 2 separate move, you know, doing a clean and jerk, but to do both halves in a row, if that makes sense. I'll see how I feel about that. Really, in this block of training, I can kind of play around with those complexes, and that's kind of something that Justin recommended, and that's something I really want to do, and to really challenge myself in a different way instead of just doing to a heavy single, because those can be difficult to do when you're in such a fatigued state. But it's kind of nice to try different variations, because you can be challenged in a very similar way while not going to the same numbers every week and getting stuck, because you're not actually getting stronger because you're extremely fatigued from everything. But I'm happy with how my legs are feeling. I was pleasantly surprised with how they were doing pretty decent today, and my upper body is just absolutely trashed from doing all the overhead work on Tuesdays. Definitely when I do those next week, I want to take them lighter and really focus on the speed of them, and not just hammering my shoulders because I'm frustrated after a week. I'm basically punishing my shoulders for being weak little things, but I'll try to be nicer to them so I'm fresher when I'm trying to do stuff like this today. But, you know, at the end of the day, as long as I'm getting stronger, then I'm happy with that stuff. But that about wraps up what I wanted to talk about today. So nothing else really radical that I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening with Donald Trump and all the arrests around him. It seems like he will probably not have to deal with any of the consequences of that, because of the inadequacies of the people around him. Instead of, I don't know, it's a very complicated thing, and I'll probably try to talk about it more tomorrow if I remember, because there's a lot that goes into it, and I don't want to just ramble on about it too much in this video, because I well, I just want to go take a shower and go get some food. So maybe I'll talk about a little bit of the Trump tomorrow, but either way, I'll talk to you all in the next video. Peace. Hey everyone, hope everyone is doing well. I'm recording this right before I go in the gym to hopefully make this clip very concise, but today at school, I had a really good day again. So everything went almost perfectly. I had some students that lost a little bit of focus towards the end of the day, but there was like a fire drill, so I was kind of expecting that. So I didn't get as much done in my last group as I would have liked, but as far as like dealing with behavior and productivity in general, it was a really awesome day. I mean, if I had a day like this every day, I would get so much done this entire year, and hopefully I can keep having as many of these days as possible. So school went awesome today. I made it to the weekend. I'm excited for that. Today is just an extremely light day in the gym, just bar work and mobility work and just really light stuff. And tomorrow I'll be doing some heavy work. So hopefully today goes well as far as me feeling good, and then I can set myself up well for tomorrow. But with that being said, that's all I wanted to talk about in this clip. So I'll talk to you all later. Peace.